grab your clock. You are gonna get into a banded lizard stretch with our left leg. The band is about knee height. I'm facing my anchor point, using an ab mat for my knee for cushion. We're gonna go ahead and start the clock here. We're gonna do 1 minute of these series. So those exercises that I'm gonna be providing today will focus on hip opening. So we're gonna focus on the front of the hip, the side of the hip, and the back of the hip, and also target the hamstrings. If you're having any hip impingement issues or feeling tightness in your hip joint, can't get to the bottom of a squat, if you're weightlifting or you're doing CrossFit or you're just walking and you feel like you have a hard time getting to the bottom position, this will help. So we're about 30 seconds in, there's about 30 seconds more here. You can be dynamic in the stretch. You can push down on that band. You can reach up and over, take your opposite hand, grab the wrist, reach, look to the sky, open up the side of the hip flexor, but also side of your rib cage. You could even grab that back leg, grab that heel and think of pulling it to your butt or your back of your hip. And then you can even push into that band as well, getting into a nice deep position here. So the focus is to open up the hip or whatever variation you have. Now we're gonna switch. We're gonna do the exact same thing on the opposite side, focusing on alternating legs today. So from the video, you notice that I've created a 90-degree angle with the back leg, 90-degree angle with the front leg, and again, I'm focusing on pushing the hips forward, and I can play around with as much tension or the least tension possible. If you want even more, you can scoot further away from your anchor point, make sure it's stable, and again, you can grab the heel, push into it, even reach up and over. So intention of these exercises, like I said, is to open up your hip joint, not just the musculature. When I took my level, it was actually before I took my level 1, it was my mobility certificate course that I took in April of 2011. It was my first certificate course that I took after I found CrossFit. It was about a month into it, and I learned from Kelly Starrett, and it was an amazing course talking about joint mobility, difference between joint mobility versus musculature flexibility and hip mobility, shoulder mobility. It was mind-blowing. So not only the musculature, but also the joint as well needs some work. So this is what we're focusing on. So we're gonna switch, we're gonna come back to that left leg, and we're now gonna thread it through the inner thigh, and I'm gonna face away from my anchor point, kind of at a 45-degree angle. I'm bringing my right knee up underneath behind my left ankle, and I'm pushing my butt and hip to the side while I stack my hip on top of my knee, so I'm pushing into it, even leaning back to the side. So we're gonna spend here, already into a minute here, but this is gonna focus on the back of the hip. So I love the pigeon stretch. That will actually target the piriformis muscle, which is a small muscle kind of in the middle of your butt cheek. If you sit a lot of that compounding tissue gets compacted over time just from sitting in a car, sitting at a desk. And if you're not doing some stretching or mobility or foam rolling, using a foam roller or a lacrosse ball, then all that can cause tightness and can cause issues for your hip, but also can lead to your back. A lot of my back pain and back issues that have happened over the years have come from sitting at a desk for long hours. So while you're here, you can kind of seesaw back and forth or stay static. Let's go ahead and switch. Same thing, opposite side for that leg. Now I'm gonna be facing a little bit of an angle away from you guys, but again, the tension is noticing that my left knee is now blocking my right ankle, and I'm pushing my hips away. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm pushing my butt back into the side. I would actually rotate a little bit more, but just for the camera for today, I'll focus you guys at an angle. So this is an important exercise. I used to do this a lot. I haven't done it in a while. I do it from time to time, but I'm a huge advocate of preaching and doing what I preach. So I will be adding this more into my routine. I love hip opening exercises just because we spend so much time sitting. At least I do. So if you sit at your desk job for a long time, then I highly recommend and encourage you adding these into your series of exercises. You could do it as a pre-warm-up or pre-workout. You could also do it as a cool-down as well. If you have time for both, spend 1 minute going through the series. Again, this is 8 minutes that we're going to be going through today. It should be pretty good time frame for you all. So let's come on up. Now I'm going to switch back to the left leg. This is going to be focusing on the back of the leg and hip. So I'm going to face away from my anchor point. I don't need my ab mat anymore, but I'm going to create tension by stepping away. I'm going to hinge from my hips. Now we're spending 1 minute here. A couple different things we can do. We can bend at the knee joint, shift side to side, twist, rotate, walk those arms forward, or just hang out here. I like the walking the arms forward, bending the knee joint. That allows me to get a little bit of a stretch in the calf, and then I walk my body back. Now, mobility is one of the big parts of my training that I've had over the years, And when I work with athletes or individuals, we're coaching for them or programming for them. Even in my app, mobility has an entire section, entire program dedicated to it. It's very important. A lot of things can be fixed by mobility or prehab exercises, so I put a big stress on that in my training over the years. Even though I'm not competing anymore, I competed at the games for 7 years in a row, and a few years additionally before that competed at regionals, prepping for the games, and mobility is what has allowed me to stay injury-free. And like I said, I have a full program in my app that is dedicated to that. Good, let's go ahead and switch. Same thing, opposite side. Again, notice that I stand up nice and tall, hinging from my hip, then I'll walk out. So if you guys want to check out the mobility program or you want to check out the workout of the day program, I have my link below. It is $1 for the first 30 days. I have a couple new programs coming, a Prepare, Endure, Survive program that's dedicated to building your fitness in the gym that you can take to outside in terms of being able to hike or go hunting, allow you not only to build your physical strength in the gym, but actually have it transfer out to functionality in a real day, everyday scenario. And then I will also have a home fit program, which will be dedicated to a warm-up and a workout in under 20 minutes that you can do in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to worry about going to the gym. It will not require any equipment. It'll be a lot of body weight movements, all body weight movements that you can do at any time, at any point of your day. Good, a couple more seconds here. Don't be afraid to twist and rotate if you want. Good. And we're slowly going to come on out. Good. So next we're going to come into a squat position. Bottom of the squat, so feet underneath the shoulders, and then I'm going to come down to the bottom of the squat position. I'm going to bring my elbows inside by my knees, and I'm going to hold this for a little bit, about 5 seconds, and then as we start this 1 minute, which we'll start right now, I'm going to place my right arm down, kind of outside my toes. I'm going to twist and rotate towards the sky, hold for a couple seconds, then I'm going to come back to center, push those knees out again, then twist and rotate back to center. Now, if you have a hard time getting to the bottom of the squat position, find your anchor point and hold on to the anchor point. So you can twist and rotate, reach the arm to the sky, while you still have one hand touching the rib or anchor point. Same thing, twist and rotate up to the sky. So you may lose out on that external rotation with the elbows that you're pushing into your knees, as if you're doing here, but it's still gonna allow you to get comfortable at the bottom position. As you rotate, if you feel more comfortable, you can take the arm off the floor and challenge yourself by leaning into that leg. The focus should be to keep the entire foot on the floor. There might be a sliver or a small inch of space between your heel and the floor, but I want you to rotate and twist, looking towards the sky as you do that. Nice and easy pace, warming up that bottom of that squat. Good. That will wrap up 1 minute, and then we'll come out of that squat. So that's going to wrap up today's mobility session. That took about a little over 7 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is something you can sandwich at the beginning of your day, at the end of your day, before or after training. If you're looking for more, feel free to check out my link below. It has a full mobility program. If you're looking for more and you want to work on building muscle or losing fat, then check out my workout of the day program. That will allow you to offer a little more intensity and help you build that strength that you're looking for, but also help you tone down. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Let me know what you'd like to see more of, and I'll share that on the next video. Thank you guys for watching.